We are live, everybody. Bro Bro Plata back with you again on a very special day. Comments are live. Let me put those up there for myself for people to see. Please share this out with your friends. We are available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch now, which is fun, and everywhere else that you stream your podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we appreciate the bump in listenership that we got. Follow us at Bro Bro Plata. I am Ray Highclack, your host. Next to me, to my, if I can get this mirroring right this way, to the sexy boy known as Tim Danko. Tim, how are you feeling today, buddy?
I'm fine, Ray. I'm good. Did we cancel Twitch yet? I thought we were going to cancel Twitch.
We have to cancel Twitch now.
Yeah. We have to cancel culture, Twitch. Yeah. Because, like we said yesterday, Harrison and I have Tourette's syndrome, and I find it offensive. Twitch.
Why?
I find it offensive. Why? Because it's called Twitch. You know what? Mainly because if everyone else is able to cancel stuff, as a white man, I'm looking for something for me to cancel. And the only thing I can really cancel is Twitch because I have Tourette's syndrome. That's about my only lane for canceling something. So I think I'm going to go that route, I think.
Well, we have to be on Twitch because we have to catch that burgeoning Gen Z market that is so rooted in MMA right now. And especially one of them just actually had their pro debut last night, which was awesome to see a new generation of fighters. Bella Mir, Frank Mir's daughter, had a fight last night, Timothy. It was...
You told me that. I didn't see it.
No, I watched it for both of us. And
okay.
Frank was in her corner, which was cool. I liked that part of it. And you could definitely tell that she is the daughter of Frank Mir in her ground game, man. She looks...
I thought you were going to say she was like 6'4", 240.
No.
That'd be fantastic. Is she a heavyweight? That'd be great.
She has to fight
up against Gabby Garcia.
Yeah, I was about to say going up against Gabby Garcia and going toe-to-toe, the first woman to ever really be able to take on... I want to see like Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar's daughter will be the one to take on Gabby Garcia at like, she's what, 5 right now, and she looks like Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't know how old she is. She's like, what, in her high school age or something like that?
I have no idea. I didn't even know she had a daughter until just now.
You didn't know Brock had a daughter?
Man, no, what would I keep track of like fighters' kids?
I don't know, next generation.
Fighting. I didn't even know Frank Mir had a daughter until yesterday when you told me she fought. So
yeah, she's been featured in some of the UFC videos when Frank was there. Same thing with Bellator, them rolling and stuff like that. And like it's really cool to see. This is something I've been waiting for since I've started watching mixed martial arts. Is like the kids,
fighters.
Yeah, the kids of fighters like boxing. Boxing, you had Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's definitely one of those kind of, good things that happens in fighting. Is sometimes you do get fighters who their parents fought on a high level, and she looks raised. I would say PFL or Bellator. I think.
Oh well, probably Invicta, man. Probably
Invicta. Yeah,
probably already signed her. I was going to say, the thing about fighting is, we said this before, I mean, this UFC at least, MMA is so young that you haven't seen it a lot. The only one I can think of is Ryan Couture, and he's kind of underwhelming, so.
Yeah, Ryan really was. I mean, he's what, a 135er, 145er, I think?
I think he's a lightweight, but he fought in the UFC like twice, and then they cut him. So they didn't really care too much about his last name. They're like, we're done with you. Because he came over when they acquired Strikeforce, and then they cut him. And then last time he fought was like with Bellator. But
yeah, I was about to say Bellator was his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, man, like, see the fact that also Bella has really takes after her dad in jiu-jitsu. I can't remember the girl's name, Michelle, I think it was like Erickson or something like that. Bella over 3 rounds just wrestle fucked the shit out of her, and like really showed the Mir name in jiu-jitsu is a big deal. and kind of solidifies, Frank's legacy at least too, that he's a good instructor, that even his kid's that good. Which is nice.
Yeah, that's good. All she has to do now is stay off motorcycles.
Yeah. Yeah. She's too small, man. Like she's too she's a bantamweight, I think. So like bantamweight or 125.
Too small for a motorcycle? Is that too small for a motorcycle?
I'm too small for a motorcycle, sir. Like there's no way.
Well, maybe like a big chopper, right? Maybe a big chopper, man. Maybe, street bike, man. They make them in all sizes, bro.
I'm more of like an electric bike kind of guy. Like, yeah.
You're a Vespa kind of guy. You look like a Vespa kind of guy.
Oh man,
you look like the kind of guy that would ride a Vespa and flip flops and gym shorts in the middle of winter. It seems like you.
At least put me in jeans, man. Like the flip flops, I can understand.
Okay,
but like the jeans,
jean shorts. You got it.
No, not even jean shorts.
Crocs.
I don't like shorts. I don't have good enough legs for shorts. I need jeans. I need jeans, sir. Oh man, we are. This episode's pretty fun, and one we're definitely looking forward to doing.
We're doing it. It's happening already.
Well, I mean, looking forward. I mean, talking about what we're.
Look at all the comments we're getting.
We're getting none, thank God, right now. But we have gotten some comments from people before the show went on. Buddy of mine who I went to school with, Kevin. I like what he said about the next fight, and we'll get to that comment in a minute. But let's talk. Let's actually put it up there. Harrison, our houseboy, if you could bring up our lovely side screen and go to Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje. It should be on the left side, or that's the main event of the evening. We're going to start it off with this.
I'm not ready to talk about this one yet, man.
You're not ready to talk about this?
I'm not even awake yet. Not even awake yet.
Then we will go to the step
because we're gonna get into it. I'm not ready yet. I just started drinking. I'm not ready for this. This is better. Let's start with this. Let's start what's going on with the prelims. Let's go with Struve and Shui Vasa. Man, that's good.
Yeah.
We'll get to that fight, but I'm not quite ready yet. All right? Okay. We got to warm it up. We need some warm-ups, man.
I like it. Let's get some practice rounds in, some bag and mitt work.
Right, man. You don't start the game in the bottom of the ninth, Ray.
But isn't there a video game where you can do that every time? Like you can be the guy that comes in the ninth and hits the home run. Isn't that the show?
I think there were some games that you could do situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could set up a situation and do that. Yeah.
So, I was setting up the heaviest situation, throwing heat because this is the biggest fight card of the fucking year so far. Like this dwarfs to me, this whole card dwarfs Connor's return. This whole card dwarfs the first COVID card because of who's fighting in this. I mean, this is one of the bigger cards we've had of the year, dude.
Well, the first COVID card was a big deal because we just wanted to see some damn fights.
Yes.
And it got canceled a bunch of times. But yeah, this card's good. And the thing about this card is it's pretty good, and it was better at one point. And then some fights dropped off of it, and some fighters got replaced, and it's still pretty good. Wasn't as good as it would have been, I don't think. But, I mean, as far as just from a lot of matchups. But it's still good, man. Still got some good ones.
Well, I mean, also you have think about who's on this card, even on the prelims that are going to be on ESPN2. By the way, they're not having it on ESPN.
We're on the Deuce.
We're on the Deuce. It's better than the Ocho, yo.
Because you know what? Yeah, college football. There's college football going on tomorrow. Big Ten starts tomorrow, so that would make sense.
Oh yeah,
pushing it to the Deuce.
But I mean, you have guys
like sport, Ray. This is a second-class sport.
What is
MMA compared to college football?
Well, fighting in general compared to any major American sports, they're always going to have that problem. So it's
around first, right? Combat sports, boxing.
Yes, it has. But yeah, man, we got so many cool things, and some of I'm excited for Sam Alvey to be on here versus Jun Da-un. Say that 80,000 times fast, folks. And then Cowboy Oliveira, who we talked about yesterday.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be on the card. But I mean, the feature prelim, Nathaniel Wood and Casey Kinney is going to be a fantastic fight. But I want to talk about this Stefan Struve Tai Tuivasa fight just because, like, this is massive, like in size and scope in the heavyweight division. Just because Stefan Struve to me is forward, a rock in MMA, if you will, that nobody seems to. A few people have been able to outnumber him. And knock him out.
He's lost multiple fights in a row, man. He's
I'm aware.
Him and Tuivasa are both like on losing streaks.
Yes.
But the thing about Struve is he's still like 32 and he's had a billion fights. You just keep waiting for this guy to go on a run. Like, when's it going to happen? It hasn't quite ever happened yet. I mean, he's had some little runs, but not some big like runs where he got into the top 5. I like to see that happen, man. I like to see him start getting a winning streak on.
Me too.
I'm always excited to see this dude fight. He's fighting Tuivasa, who knocks people out. He was not real big. It's probably about a foot shorter than the 7-footer.
Yeah,
but that's happened before. And Roy Nelson knocked him out. Mark Hunt knocked him out. Struve, I'm talking about. It is fun to see those shorter guys knock out Struve because he just folds over.
Yeah,
he's giant skyscraper.
It's definitely that treetop.
Yeah,
it's that wonderful treetopness, son, man.
For sure. He's lost 4 of 5.
Okay. So, I mean, it could be worse. It really could be. We have it right there.
That last fight with Rothwell, okay, Tuivasa is 6'2", so he's not as short as like Hunt and Nelson, but his last fight, Struve's last fight with Rothwell, you remember that fight? That fight was hard to watch because he got tagged in the testes multiple times. It was pretty tough to watch, to the point that everybody kind of thought that he was just going to be like, I'm done, and they would make it a no contest, but he ended up continuing, then got another one.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened, and then Rothwell finished him. It was kind of I'm not saying it wasn't a fair and square win for Rothwell. It was, but you just kind of wonder if, those multiple shots had anything to do with it. And in the end, he got hit in the face by Rothwell, which is really the undoing. But you have to think of what would have happened maybe if he didn't get those illegal shots, which were accidental, but no one wants that to happen. But it always sucks when a guy gets hit multiple times and then continues the fight when you think maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't, and then they get finished like that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with like Tai Tuivasa too is his power game. We've seen it on display a few times in victories before he drinks out of a shoe.
That's fantastic.
And I mean, this cat for sure is a few wins, obviously, in the heavyweight division to even be in the top, considered to fight anybody in the top 10 right now. He has lost a few fights, as you said. And it's both of these guys, this is sort of a bubble fight to begin with. And do I think this is basically their last fights in the UFC? No, because they're both really entertaining. Dana likes both of them. Otherwise they still wouldn't be in long-term contracts with the UFC. And they're
also heavyweights, man. They have a little bit more leeway, especially the guys who have beaten guys before. We're talking about Tuivasa has lost 3 in a row, but his last win was against Andre Arlovski. You can still fight. So,
and again, that's the thing. Like what you just said is a very big part of that. Heavyweight fighters usually, I mean, if they lose 1 or 2, they're not gonna be on the bubble for losing. You know what I'm saying? They can. Because of the fact that fights can end faster than a Mike Tyson fight, it's a nice thing at the idea that these guys, are able to go still into the octagon, make a decent amount of money for, 25 or 15 minutes of work and be as entertaining. Because, I mean, look at Tuivasa. Tuivasa comes at you. If he's on point that day, he's not only going to be on your ass, making sure that you feel his power, but the fact that he can also do really good kicks as well. He's got a great kickboxing background as well that adds to a little bit of a dimension. Now, when you're fighting a guy like Struve, who's as tall as Struve at least, that's going to be a bit of an issue. But I think if he gets in on the inside, works the body on him, he'll win this match. And I'm actually pulling for Tai Tuivasa just because I do want to see him drink out of a shoe. I want to see it. I'm not going to lie.
I like both these guys, and I want them both to win, so I don't really care which one wins, really. But the thing about Struve and fighting Struve, and I would love to talk to someone who has fought him because I always wondered, how do you prepare for that guy? Because there's no one else 7 foot tall that you can get. I don't know if there's any boxers or anyone that's 7 feet tall that you could, or even with that close a reach. Although I do remember that John Jones has the same reach as Stefan Struve, which is outrageous.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's crazy. He's like 6'4" or whatever. But yeah, his reach is insane. I don't know how he prepared for that. But also not only is he long, but he's from the Netherlands, which almost always means great kickboxing, and he is a good kickboxer. And he's so long, his ground game's fantastic. I think his last win was by submission. So, yeah, he doesn't have the world's greatest chin. He has been knocked out a few times, but you can't blame a dude for that. Especially a lot of guys, guys who can bang like a Tuivasa, when they fight him, their goal is to get inside, obviously, all the way in or all the way out. You get all the way in, and they threw those big haymakers at his chin. That's kind of how you fight that guy, and that's how he's been knocked out in the past. So we'll see. I don't know who I didn't look at the odds. I don't know who the favorite is here. You know what? It may be a pick'em. I think it was pretty close, whatever it was.
I mean, I would have it as a pick'em at this point. I mean,
yeah, you know what, man? I want to see Struve get back on the winning side, so I'm going to pick Struve.
Okay, so that's always a good thing that we have completely different opinions because we're awesome.
I know it was completely different, man. I'm just kind of I don't feel strongly about this one. Some other ones I may. Before we get to the main card, I still want to do some fights on the prelims I want to talk about. So.
Okay. Yeah.
And I got to pull them back up because I just lost the card. I think. Okay. Cowboy Oliveira. This is a fun one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with Shavkat. I've never seen this guy fight. He's 12-0.
This is weird. It's his first fight. He's from Kazakhstan. You look at his record, and apparently he starches people. But I mean, Oliveira this is a super. I mean, obviously, I think he fought for M1, so obviously the UFC had their eye on this dude for a while.
Yeah,
because they would not give a normal debut guy Alex Oliveira.
No,
so they obviously know this dude can fight. So this is a super tough fight for your debut. It's one of the toughest debuts I've heard of, other than maybe that Czechoslovakian cat who fought what's his name? Ozdemir, yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay,
that was a tough debut, but they knew who that kid was, and they actually offered that kid a contract like a couple years before they brought him in. And he said no, he wasn't ready yet.
I'm looking at Sheerdog to see what organizations Shavkat has fought in before.
Okay.
And little thing, he turns 26 today, so it's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Shavkat.
Happy birthday, Mr. Shavkat. Rachmanov. I'm gonna say, Rachmanov is how you say it.
That's a good name, Rachmanov. I like it.
It's a definitely a sexy name. I like it.
Oh no,
man.
he's from.
Let me see where he's been.
He's from Uzbekistan, or I think he was born in Kazakhstan and he fights in Uzbekistan. From Uzbekistan, I don't know. I couldn't tell you either of those on the map. I just was guess Europe area, right?
I do not see the organization. If somebody would like to drop that in, I'm actually looking right now for anything. I can't find what organization it was from, but I mean, it looks like actually the Russian MMA. What's that one organization?
M1 Challenge.
Yeah, M1. It looked like he's fought for M1, which means, I mean, he's had top world competition right there in M1. They don't mess around. They don't play around.
Right. The last guy he fought was 28-6.
Jesus Christ.
So, he fought and he knocked him out in the first round. So they obviously know this guy's got skills. So that's why they gave him somebody like Oliveira. I don't know much about him. All I know is that Oliveira scraps, son. Yeah. He's always fun to watch. Dude scraps. And he's been winning. I think he's won his last two. So this is really interesting that they gave a guy who's an Cowboy Oliveira, who's won his last two fights, a guy who's coming in brand new. So obviously they have there's a lot of hype on this guy. They think he has a high ceiling. But I haven't seen anything. So I'm going to think Oliveira is going to say, hey, bro, welcome to the UFC and beat this guy. But who knows, man? I mean, I'm sure this guy's a lot of skill. I'm sure it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like I'm going to be pulling for Cowboy just because he is a favorite of mine. I've loved his fights. His fight against Cowboy Cerrone was great. The one we talked about yesterday in Pittsburgh. His fight against Yancy Medeiros, where Yancy knocked him out, but at the same time, both of them were just going off on each other. Cowboy is kickboxing in the UFC at its highest level. Really, if you look at the way he strikes, The creativity is amazing. I love Cowboy Oliveira. I'm going to pick him just based on sentimental pick only. But I hope that Shavkat can actually like scrap with him and we get a good fight out of this, man.
Without looking, do you know how old Cowboy is?
I'm going to say in his 40s, early 40s, 42.
Dude, he's 32. That's why I asked, because I thought he was a lot. I thought he was a lot older than that too. Let me double check that.
That hard Brazilian.
Yeah, 32,
living,
man.
Bro. It's that hard Brazil.
He's seen
living.
some shit and things.
Wow, he's a year older than me.
Yeah, he's just,
wow. I feel a little bit better looking the way I do.
Well, he's been punched in the face a lot. Yeah, you're right. I thought he was probably like 38, but no, he's 32. But yeah, I would have guessed fighting left in him. So there you go. Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was just about the same age as Cerrone when they fought, but he's younger.
Yeah, man. Like that's Cowboy. What I love about Oliveira is like there are times where he really is a technical kickboxer. He really gets into a lot of counters, can get off on the good angles and get some hooks in where you really didn't see it coming. But then there are those times where he just starts throwing them kicks, dude, and those kicks are just beautiful. Like you watch that sexiness and you're like, yes, thank you. This is why I watch MMA, is fucking people like Cowboy Oliveira, bro. Like I love it. Comments. Anybody watching this on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We are talking Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje, and we've talked about Stefan Struve, Tai Tuivasa, Alex Oliveira as well. And let's get into the Smiling Sam Alvey fight, my friend, because I'm really excited about that one too on this prelim.
Yeah, man. Alvey, I really hope he gets a win, man. I mean, he's fighting another tough dude too, but man, I really hope he gets a win. I mean, he's not supposed to win this fight, but I really hope he does. Anyone who's listening, if they haven't checked out our interview with Drew Schottenheimer, it's on all the platforms. It's also on YouTube. Check that out because he has a fantastic story about Sam Alvey when he's out in California training with him. So check that out. I don't want to give it away. Just
go listen to that on all of our platforms. Be on YouTube probably today. I'm going to be doing some posting as well, so that's going to be some of my work leading up to today after the show. But yeah, man, I got Sam, and I'm going to pick Sam in this because it's one of Khabib's boys. I'm not gonna. Oh no, he got replaced. Apparently.
What's that?
Oh no,
no. That's just dumb.
Oh no, I'm looking at a totally wrong one here.
Okay, no, I'm gonna pick this kid Daung.
Okay.
However, I want Alvey to win. I absolutely am gonna be pulling for Sam Alvey. I hope I'm wrong. Look at that picture. Look at that picture. Everyone else has serious faces, man. Look, like we were told by Drew Schottenheimer, he's just always smiling for some reason.
Yeah. He's what I love about him the most is the fact that like he has leaned into this Smiling Sam so much that he had a giveaway recently too on his website for charity. If it's still up there, go check that out. Just type in Smiling Sam Alvey charity, and they were doing something with that. I forget exactly what it was, but I think Drew or like it was a Facebook algorithm or somebody sent me something with Sam Alvey on it, which is for a good cause, for a great cause. But yeah, man, I Smiling Sam has not been Smiling Sam hasn't been on exactly a winning streak, which is kind of bad, but at the same time it's always nice to see him fight again, and I'm pulling for him on this one, dude. I'm really pulling for him.
Yeah, so am I. But all his fights are exciting, though. I mean, I'm always excited to see him fight, win or lose, right? So, but you do wonder, like, how many fights to give a guy like that if he's losing in multiple fights in a row. So, so really, I hope the kid gets a win. Me
too. And if not, you can go to Bellator and be a part of the WCW of MMA. I like it. It's definitely the old folks association. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this main card, and it's kind of interesting that one of something we've been talking about for a long time is coming up on this main card, and it's something that coronavirus has taken away twice from. Same guy Same negative, same positive test.
There were a couple things before that too, because they tried to get this thing done. I mean, ever since they fought the first time, they haven't fought anyone else since. And they've been trying to fight each other multiple times, and it's kept falling through. So I don't really know how many times it's actually been set up, this fight.
Yeah,
but it's been at least 3 or 4. It may have been more.
The fight we are talking about is Magomed Ankalaev versus Ion Cutelaba. You MMA fans who have been watching throughout the coronavirus and a couple other, I believe they fought in January, or when did they fight last? When was the first fight that they had? Because it was a screwy finish. It was one that like we've possibly seen in MMA just because of like what had happened in the fight itself. And it's been signed a few times, hasn't really happened because of Cutelaba, I believe, tested positive twice for coronavirus. And then now they've signed this fight. And Tim, we actually have the video of this to remind people. You want to go to that and watch this video and break it down after?
Hold on, I'm gonna answer your questions first.
Yes.
February 29th was when they fought the first time, which is what we're about to show you. February 29th. And then since then, this has been on cards, on the books. This is the 4th time.
This is starting to get Tony versus Habib level.
Yeah.
Like,
may really never happen. Thing is, this was a great matchup to begin with. Everyone was super excited for it, man. Like, Cutelaba, man, at the beginning, they announced him at the beginning of the fight. He goes across the cage and getting out the lava out the face where you're not supposed to do, but it's great. It gets you pumped up and it's awesome. And then, then this weird stoppage happens. I guess we're going to show you. I guess basically what happened is Cutelaba tried to bait I can't see this guy's names. Ankalaev. Yeah, anyway, he tried to bait him, right? He tried to act more hurt than he was, and the ref bit. He bit hard, and he stopped the fight because he thought he was hurt. Which honestly, it was a crappy stoppage, but I think it was Kevin McDonald to be on his side a little bit. He doesn't know that. He didn't know he was faking it. He doesn't know. He saw he got hit. He did get hit, so he didn't know that. So I can't really give him too much grief for that, but it's just unfortunate because he obviously, when he stopped it, it was obvious that he wasn't actually hurt. Do we have the video?
Yeah, we're going to go off screen for a second, those of you watching, and we're going to play this. It's about a 20-second clip, I want to say, of the fight, and then we'll come back and talk about it and what's leading up to this fight, because this is it's insane. So, Harrison, if you could, play the video for us.
The stakes are high in this one. Look at this! Wow! Couple of kicks. There it is again! And again! How is Cutelaba still on his feet? Wow! 3 head kicks in a row. He's out on his feet. Wow! And he stops it, and Cutelaba disagrees. Kevin McDonald stepped in. I get the security in there for Kevin McDonald's safety.
And that was it.
First of all, I love that we can do that. Number one, that's pretty cool. I like that we can do that on this podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, production right now, fuckers. Yeah,
right. That's cool. I like that we can do that. We need to do that a lot. But he was getting hit with hard kicks though, so I can't give Kevin McDonald too much grief. Like I said, I can't, man. It's just unfortunate. It was just unfortunate. I feel like there is a language barrier there, right? Where's he from here? Does it say on that? Oh, Magdola.
I do not see.
Anyway,
looking it
there's
up
a language
right
barrier there. I'm assuming. Moldova. So, I would say normally, if you planned on that as part of your strategy going in, I would probably say to the ref, if I could, hey man, because I know they beat the refs, they at least shake their hands beforehand, right? So, like in the fighters meeting. So I would want to say to that guy with a translator or not, I don't know what his English is like. He may be fluent. I have no idea. But you should say, hey, this is part of my strategy. Whisper, whisper, just so he knows, right?
Well, I mean, he also waved it off, and at that point, put his hands on him. So the fight's over. I mean, and it's the one thing about this fight that's really interesting is how much of that strategy did he have prior? And was he doing it to bait him, or was he really out on his
Was
feet?
he actually hurt? Well, the way he reacted when he stopped it, he looked 100% fresh, which makes you think that he may have been at least mostly faking it. And the fact that he, planted it through a big haymaker after that, when he was rocked. Although guys do that sometimes too. I don't know, man. Like I said, I can't give Kevin McDonald much crap for it. I mean, I feel bad for him because of that, because he looks awful. He looks awful. And the crowd gave it to him. And like they said in that clip, you need some security for him, right? Because it looks awful. But I mean, he's, it's not like he got in too much trouble for it. He probably would not have been the only one to do it, to be honest.
No, I think honestly, like any referee, if they see a guy like kind of wobbling like that, it's
Chris
more.
Leone would have let it go. Chris Leone would have let it go. He wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a judgment call. We finally though get to have this fight again, which is awesome. I think that this fight will definitely be a lot more stand and bang than we think it will be, because of the fact that I think Cutelaba isn't going to go into that wobbly bullshit that he was trying to do.
No, I expect these guys trying to take each other's heads off anyway, man.
I
expect that to begin with. That's what they were doing in the first fight, and I think it's going to happen again. I've been really excited to see this fight, not just because of what happened in the first one, but and the anticipation, the fact that you keep pulling up the card, and as of now, I haven't checked weigh-ins. Did everybody make weight? You should have done that. I didn't check weigh-ins today.
Let's see. I can actually check that right now.
Actually, it may not have happened yet because of the time difference. I don't know.
Well, it usually happens around this time, like when we go live, which is at 4
Oh, you know what?
Anybody that's watching this, thank you guys for watching. Comments are live, by the way. So if you want to talk about what we're talking about, just drop us a comment as well. But yeah, UFC weigh-ins usually happen around 4 p.m. wherever they are, just because that's their like scheduled time that they do stuff like that.
I just think yesterday I was on ESPN Plus, and I think I saw that they had weigh-ins scheduled for 12:30 today. I believe that's what it said.
Okay.
So I mean, what you're saying is right, but I'm just saying
two prelim fighters have missed weight.
Oh, who was it?
Breaking news. The reigning blah 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 Gaethje Nurmagomedov. While all 4 fighters in the main event and co-main event are official, 2 preliminary fight card athletes. This is according to MMAfighting.com. Alex Oliveira came in at 173 pounds.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Over the limit for a non-title welterweight fight. He faces Shavkat, who we just talked about. Joel Alvarez missed by 4.5 pounds or 3.5 pounds.
Sheesh.
He'll be facing Alexander Yakovlev. And then Alexander is going to be fined 20% of his purse. And Alvarez had to forfeit 30%.
Yeah, 4 pounds, 30. Yeah, we talked about that before. Number one, Cowboy just lost a couple points in my book. I like him a lot, but he just lost a couple points. I'm still picking him, even more so because he missed weight. Because most of the time, more often than not, the guys who miss weight win.
Now,
a little bit, right? A little bit. I mean, but I don't know how often this has happened in his career. If this is the first time, then it's forgivable. But I don't know.
I don't think we've heard of Cowboy Oliveira missing weight. I mean, it's never
not that I remember, but I don't know for sure.
It could be one of those. It could just be one of those things that happens when that kind of thing where it's like, what are you gonna do at this point? I'm already on the island. Let's have a fight. 20% of my stuff. It does look unprofessional, especially on this big of a card. I will say that.
I really wish guys. I really wish guys. I think we said this before. I wish guys would more often would say, "Fuck you, I'm not fighting you. Make weight.
Yeah.
Make weight."
Yeah.
I mean, because I think there's a stigma. If they say, "No, I'm not going to fight you," they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, you were afraid to fight him," or something like that. No, they're just being professional. They want you to be professional, and that's fine. They're just like, "Oh, they're not saying you're afraid of them or anything like that." That's stupid. No, I think, especially guys they're towards the bottom of the card. That one guy is his first UFC fight, although he's probably making more than most guys in their first UFC fight, obviously, because they've been scouting this guy for a while, obviously, because they gave him Cowboy Oliveira. But the fight before that, I don't know those guys. They might not be making a whole lot, so they're thinking, I gotta get paid. I gotta get my corners paid, right? So and they're getting a little bonus. They're getting 20-30% extra because they missed. So I mean, I really hope that that's not all that's playing into it, because not very often you see guys say, no, I'm not going to fight. And I think it's a lot because they feel pressure too. And they feel like they look like the bad guy if they don't fight. And I don't know if the promotion makes them feel like the bad guy. They shouldn't. I don't know. I have no evidence to say that they do, but I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with like fighters, and we have a friend who's an agent, Gene Walker. He's an awesome guy. Go check him out. Give him a follow at what's his entertainment? What's his thing? Fourth down management. They're an awesome sports management group that Gene Walker runs. He's got a couple MMA fighters that he represents as well. And I mean, the thing with like this is I do feel like sometimes that the agents do pressure their fighters, which is always a negative as well. Look at Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje. He went through 2 fights or 2 weight cuts just to make weight for the Justin Gaethje fight.
That was on him, though. That was on Ferguson.
But it's also his management team can step in and be like, hey, no, we'll sit back and wait. I mean, it's one of those kind of things, too.
Right. Or at least his coaches. I don't know if it's his management as much as his coaches.
Yeah,
I think a lot of times because the management, they're not coaches. They probably defer to the coaches a lot, I'm assuming.
I would hope.
Yeah. So I think it would be more the coaches that were the ones that say, man, you can still beat this guy. That's fine. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't fight him. I'm just saying I just really hope they're really thinking it through.
Agreed. I fully agree with you on that. To me, with this, I mean, this is at least the main events are set, and we don't have to worry about anything going on with those on a fuckery level.
Yeah, sorry, Michael Chandler. He's down there hanging out, just waiting for somebody to get hurt.
Yeah, he can step in. I think 155. Yeah, was there a 150?
No, yeah, 155. I don't think so. But you know what, though? It has happened before. If I could remember the guy's name, I'd say it, but I can't remember his name. This happened a couple years ago. A guy rolled his ankle warming up. A freak accident, and rolled his ankle bad warming up and couldn't fight. So that's happened before. I hope it doesn't happen. But, I mean, Chandler. I'm assuming Chandler weighed in today. I didn't see. I'm assuming he did.
I did not see anything in the article about him weighing in.
I think that's what he's there for. I think he will wait all the way until that fight starts.
Yeah, I mean,
if some freak happens, he's going to step in. Fight. That's what he's there for. I'm assuming he's there. Yeah.
Oh, he was there for the main event for he was signed by the UFC as an alternate for this. Michael Chandler is who we're talking about. If you're just joining us, I'm Bro Bro
He's getting paid to show up. I'm assuming he is. Well, if he made weight, he's getting paid. Something you'd assume he's getting show money, maybe not full show money, but he's getting something.
I do not see anything on it on MMA fighting because I'm still on that, and I just don't see anything about Michael Chandler here. Which is
if I would have thought about it, I would have looked it up earlier. But last thing I wanted to say about guys not taking fights. Our buddy Andrew Law, who we've had in the show, we're gonna have him back on the show at some point. I talked to him yesterday, actually. He wants to be on again. We're going to have him on again. Yes. His last fight, I noticed when watching the videos of the guy he was fighting, Aaron Highball, that he was big. Mm-hmm. And I said, dude, I hope he makes weight. And Andrew said to me, dude, if he doesn't make weight, I'm not fighting him. He did make weight. So I don't know. He didn't have to come to that decision, but he did say, to me, he's like, dude, I know how big he is. I'm not going to be stupid. Right. And it's also different because he's not making $40,000 a fight or whatever. You know, he was making whatever he was making for the fight, which is like pocket change to most people, and on the regional level. So it would have been different, right? Because he could have taken a fight like the next month or something. So, but yeah, that was just one example I know of a guy that said, no, man, he better make weight. So,
yeah. And I mean, it sucks the fact that, Cowboy didn't make weight. Cowboy Oliveira. That's that we were just talking so highly of him.
I know.
That's what fucking makes me laugh about it. It's like we were just all praising the good and powerful Cowboy Oliveira. And what does he do? Just like every weird dad, he lets us down. Just every time he told us we're going to go to the park.
Here's a baseball game. He's going to be at the baseball game.
We're going to the carnival. We're going to the carnival Saturday. No, I'm going to go with my buddies and fish. Bye, son. I mean, come on, man. Why the hell? Cowboy Oliveira is. We're excited though about this fight, about this whole fight card. We've got a few other fights that we're going to talk about. The main card is coming up right now. And we were talking about Ian Kutalaba and Ankalev. If you didn't see that, go watch the replay of this afterwards. We played the whole 20-minute clip, or 20-second clip. Jesus Christ, we would be taken off of Facebook if it was any more, probably. Mm-hmm. Lauren Murphy is fighting, and I don't know who she's fighting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this lady's making her debut as well.
She's 8-1. Lauren Murphy is a good fighter. I appreciate her as an MMA fighter as well. So
yeah, that's how I would probably describe her. She's good.
She's good.
She's good. She beats people. Her last fight, she beat Roxanne Modafferi, who is also pretty skilled. She's not flashy. Neither of them are flashy. I mean, her and Roxanne. She's not flashy, but she wins fights, and she's been winning a handful of fights in a row against tough people. So she was going to fight Calavino, who is coming off that win of Jessica Ai. So this is going to be like a matchup. We talked about yesterday about Jessica Andrade being up there as far as the title contenders for 125. Mm-hmm. The winner of this fight was going to be right up there too, and I don't think that changes for Lauren Murphy.
No,
it's not her fault that she has changed of an opponent, and it's not her fault they're bringing in someone who hasn't had a fight before. Apparently, this is someone that's worked out with Khabib before, or no, sir. And she's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons. And she said so in an article. I didn't read the whole thing, but apparently she gives credit to Khabib for her getting the shot, and it's a big shot for her. I don't know anything about her. She's from Uzbekistan. She's 8-1. She's won her last fight by TKO in the second round.
God,
against someone who was 1-1.
Yeah, man.
And before that, she fought someone who was 2-1.
Wow. Okay, so she's fought, people in her own at least skill group, which is nice. And at 8-1, I'm still picking Lauren Murphy just because.
Her one loss was to someone who was 4-4 at the time she was 5-0.
Oh, interesting.
I know nothing about these ladies. She's fighting. They could be monsters, but the records just don't show it. That's very possible. It happens all the time.
And she's Russian, so she's already going to be tough, and she's definitely going to be somebody that that's going to give a challenge to Lauren Murphy. And then we got Jacob Mulco in a 4-0. He's going to be facing Phil Hawes. These guys got added on, I believe.
Right. We didn't make picks. We got to make picks, Ray.
Oh,
I'm picking Lauren Murphy.
I'm going to pick Lauren Murphy as well, just based on the American. Is she American?
Well, I know she's solid. She's pretty skilled. I mean, if this lady she's fighting, Shakarova, is super explosive, she might get caught by this lady. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. Like I said, nothing at all. So we'll see. It's on the main card. I would like to see Lauren Murphy win because I do like her, and she's been moving up. And I would like to see her get, she's going to keep winning until she fights someone that is immaculate. That's what happened to Jessica Ai, right? She was winning fights. So, you're the next contender, so you're going to fight Shevchenko. And yeah, she got destroyed, but she earned her shot.
Yeah, she was on a good winning streak. Jessica Ai was on the way to Valentina at 120. It looked like 125 was going to be where she was going to, kind of be, we always use the term, but gatekeeper. Somebody that you have to fight to get to Valentina or whoever the champion is, and Valentina kind of proved that by dispatching her so quickly.
I did see last night. I was looking up some matchups, and I did see Jessica Ai's next matchup. Someone we talked about yesterday for a minute. Joanne Calderwood.
Yes,
that's going to be a good fight. She's fighting Jessica Ai and Joanne Calderwood in December. That's going to be a good fight. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to us, MMA fans.
Right?
I like that.
It's the only, I don't know which card it was, but it was the only fight I could find that was made for that card so far. So it was December something, but that's going to be a good fight. That's probably be a main card fight, probably. on a non-pay-per-view. If they weren't both coming off losses, it could be a main event, maybe a co-main event. I don't know, but it's going to be a good fight either way. I'm excited to see that fight.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well.
I like them both. Another one that I would want them both to win.
Me too.
Maybe I'll go with because she's from Barberton or Rootstown, whatever. But she's in Vegas now. But I like Calderwood as well. I like her accent.
Yes, that lovely
Scottish accent.
Mm-hmm. It's so nice to hear off of a girl, but on a man, it just sounds like they're drunk all the time. I don't know why, but that's my best. I can do a better Irishman, but that's about it. Yeah, man, I'm excited for what's coming up in the 125 division of women's fighting, because we were talking about it. It's one of the deepest divisions in the sport right now, at least in the UFC. They've just got killers at 125. So the fact that Lauren might get a chance at a title shot if she beats this girl is going to be a huge feather in her cap if she can actually get to Valentina Shevchenko and solidify herself as a contender. So I'm excited for it.
Man, I mean, I'm guessing it's either that or maybe Andrade or maybe the winner of that Calderwood eye fight for Lauren Murphy if she wins. Depending on what they're thinking. Because that title's up for grabs next month. Jennifer Maya and Shevchenko. Yep. So yeah. If Lauren Murphy wins, it's maybe Maya. If she loses that fight, maybe Andrade, maybe the winner of Calderwood. I would say one of those three. I would assume if she wins. She doesn't win, different story. But
yeah, it could happen, man, and I'm excited for it. The Jacob Malkoun fight versus Phil Hawes. Do you know these guys?
A little bit. I looked them up because honestly, the first time I saw that they moved these guys to the main card, I thought it was like a typo or a mistake. So I had to look it up multiple places, and no, they are in the main card. I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I just was surprised. Here we go. So
you got a bigger Artem Lobov to the left there. It looks like Artem Lobov a little bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you're saying. Phil Haas just came off a win in September, I think, in the Contender Series. He knocked the dude out. I watched that fight again. He crushed the guy.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I like this dude. He's cool. But and Jacob Malkoun is Australian. He's 4-0. I watched his last fight. He won a decision. They obviously they like this guy a lot. This Malkoun. I mean, because they put him on the main card, and I don't understand why for sure. I'm guessing they want to. Originally, they were going to have this card be a 6-fight main card.
Yeah,
and because they're starting earlier in the day, that means like the. Put another fight on there, push the main event to like 5 o'clock or so, or 4 or 5, right? So, and they're not going to put Struve and Tuivasa on the main card because you need that teaser, right? They need the teaser prelim fight for free so people buy the pay-per-view. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing for a long time. So they put these guys on. They're finishers for the most part. So I think they said they put these guys on and thought maybe someone's going to get a finish. Someone see a knockout maybe. I'm going to go with Haas. I've seen more from him. Although Malko can fight, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I have seen their last couple fights, and they're basically stand and bang guys. So that would be entertaining. Hopefully someone does get knocked out, but I'm going to go with Haas.
I'm going to pick Jacob just to be the contrarian and see what happens. If these guys both are some hard hitters, I'm all down for this fight. Hope it turns into a nice little scrap and somebody at least goes out for it. That'd be a nice little way to have everything go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I hope they make the most of the opportunity they were given. Right. This is a rare opportunity for people like for them who are both having their first fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Right. It's a big opportunity. So I hope they make the most of it. And I think this is what they think they'll do. They think they have the personality. That they will do that. They'll go out and they'll put on a really big show knowing how many people are watching on the main card.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for that one, but I'm going to tell you one that I'm really excited for is obviously going to be Alexander Volkov and Walt Harris at heavyweight, son. The heavyweights are out to play in the octagon at the Flex Forum. Alexander Volkov, he's proven himself in the octagon over and over again. Sadistic man. Walt Harris has hands of stone, which I love. Both of these guys have knockout power, dude. So this one's going to be a bit of a weird one. What do you think about this?
Man. I gotta look at the odds for this one because I'm confused. I'm curious because I don't think I saw the odds. I'll look in a second.
Volkov Harris. I'm looking them up right now, my friend.
Okay. Because geez, all right, you got two guys. They're coming off losses, but they're coming off losses for the top guys. Volkov had that loss against Curtis Blades, I like Curtis Blades, man, but he fought boring against Volkov. He just sat on him the whole time for 5 rounds. It was a main event. He pretty much just sat on him.
Yeah.
He did what you say Khabib does to people, but it was much more boring.
Extreme cuddling. Cuddling.
I don't think Khabib necessarily does it the way you say he does, but I think Blades did it against Volkov.
We'll get
into Harris.
It.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to wait. And Harris is coming off that loss to Overeem, right? I don't know, man. I like to see Harris get a win because that's a guy who's gone through some insane tragedy in his life. His stepdaughter, he was with her, raised her pretty much as his own. She died. She was murdered, kidnapped and murdered. About a year or so ago, right? And then his first fight back was the Overeem fight, and he lost. I'd like to see this guy get a win. This is a good matchup, though, man. These are both really tough dudes in the heavyweight division. Oh, I'm gonna pick Volk. I'm gonna pick Harris because I want him to win mostly. But yeah, this should be a good fight. This is a good matchup for sure.
Yeah, man, I'm actually gonna pick Walt here as well, just because of the fact that his story is incredible. He's the kind of guy that you want to be, to do well, especially with all the tragedy he's had. Plus, he's a powerhouse, and I like powerhouse fighters. And Walt Harris can definitely shut your lights off with just a flick of the switch, which I want to see in this fight, so that's why I'm going to pick Harris for knockout, and hopefully he gets it done in the octagon as well. And then we go now, my friend, to a fun one. We go to a huge battle that has title implications written all over it. For in the middleweight division, former Robert Whittaker is returning to face Jared Cannonier. Yes, sir.
I have one more thing to say about that last fight.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it. Seeing Harris likes to bang a bit, but he can't wrestle. So I'm wondering if seeing how much success Curtis Blades had against Volkov with his wrestling, I wonder if maybe Harris, we might see that a little bit more from Harris than usual.
Yeah.
His wrestling. I see maybe if you try to put his body on him and then maybe get him to the cage and get him to the ground. That might be a pretty decent strategy for Harris. I'm curious to see it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, Harris definitely has the wrestling skill that can take Volkov down and impose his will, which can be a good thing. And he can land some good power shots on top. And get a submission. I agree with you. I still think he'll probably stand and bang with Volkov, but I still got and I have Harris.
Yeah, but it's there, right? Yeah. And I'm sure he's been told in camp and is well aware that it's there if it need be, right? So it could go either way. Who knows? Should be good. Should be interesting, Raymond.
Yes, my friend. The interesting one though here is what we're about to talk about at 185 because I'm super pumped for this fight. When they announced that this was going to happen months ago, it was definitely on my radar for at least one of the fights of the year. I mean, we got a couple more months left into this shit show known as 2020, but this fight alone, man, is worth the price of what we're about to see, which is Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, son. Jared Cannonier. Look at that savage. Look at them both. Look at those just rock hard abs where we're just sporting kegs.
Those are good abs.
Those are like Cannonier looks like he can shred cheese off of his. And Robert Whittaker looks like he could open a beer just by with his belly button.
That's true. However, these pictures are promo pictures. So, I mean, they're probably a little airbrushed a little bit, although these guys don't need to be, but I'm sure there still are.
Yeah.
Right. But you see him in the cage, you're still going to look like that for the most part. These pictures just being promos are getting a little touched up.
Yeah, it's still they look fucking like badasses. What do you think about this fight altogether? I want to get your opinion before I give mine.
So okay, I think when Cannonier fought, was it Silva? Maybe I don't know. I was watching the what they call the Road to the Octagon show or something, and Cannonier went to his kid's school, and they're like in the lunchroom and sitting with his kid, and one of the other elementary school kids comes up to him and he said something about the UFC, and the kid asked him, "Who's the best fighter in the UFC?" And Jared Cannonier is like, "I am," and the kid goes, "No, you're not." But Cannonier, dude, look at my face. I'm trying to do my best impression. He looks at the kid like this and goes,
Let's bring
right.
the
Right, go ahead.
Let's bring up to number or the tip so we can see Tim's face here because I want to see this face. Yeah, there we go.
Ready? Did one of these. He goes to the kid, little kid, elementary school kid, and goes, "Yes, I am." Yeah, like serious. I'm like, Duke, easy, man. Which I mean, number one, that's the attitude you're supposed to have, right? But the fact that he like almost scared a kid like that, right? You're supposed to think you're the best in the world, and I believe he does think he's the best in the world because most guys do, right?
Well,
and you should. Yeah, you have to, right? But it's funny that he like said to a kid, like, "Are you trying to tell me I'm not?" What if the kid kept saying it? Was he going to get more mad? What was going to happen? Was he going to throw the kid across the lunchroom?
You never know, man.
It's pretty funny. All right.
It's going to be interesting, really, to watch this fight.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Cannonier back in 2017, 2018. He lost to now champion Jan Blachowicz and that in decision, and then he got TKO'd by Dominic Reyes, who just lost to Blachowicz in that championship fight. Since then, he's finished the following fighters: David Branch, monster; Anderson Silva, legend; Jack Hermanson, pretty damn good. So he's he's finished 3 really tough dudes. So yeah, he deserves this fight, and he's getting better. Man. He's 36, but he's getting better. Man, and but the thing is, he's fighting Robert Whittaker, former champion. He's super technical and stuff. He's so damn good. He's so damn good, Ray.
Robert Whittaker. What can you say about a man like him? Fucking, I use the terms hands of stone. His back muscles, send people into comas. He's a stud athlete. One of the best welterweights to ever do it, in my opinion. Middleweights to do it, in my opinion. The guy has knockout power, and he's fighting a guy in Jared Cannonier who did come down from light heavyweight to be in the 185 division of the UFC, and he brought the power with him, man.
Yeah,
and that's why
that
this
didn't go away at all. Yeah. Since he moved down, he's been starching people, and man, this was good. And also I think it's a title eliminator. They kind of said that because Alasandi's been saying he doesn't want to fight Robert Whittaker again. He thinks it's not worth his time. But the UFC pretty much said that like you're gonna fight him. He's gonna be the guy who gets the shot against you if he wins. So I'm picking Whittaker, although I'm pulling for my man Jared Cannonier. I would like to see him get this win, but I think the smart money would be on Whittaker here.
See, I'm gonna pick Jared Cannonier on this one since
you're wrong.
He's put guys in the fucking comas recently, though. Like,
man, but Whittaker's the only person who's ever been able to do that to him is Izzy.
Yeah,
and the way he fought Till, man, he fought Till so technical, and it's such a great fight when he fought Till. This is gonna be, man.
If Whittaker can hit with some great counter punches and really rock a motherfucker, I think he's gonna. If it goes, I think 2 rounds, it'll be Whittaker's fight. Or no, if it goes 2 rounds, it'll be Cannonier's fight. I should think. If I think also Robert Whittaker could benefit himself from being a more technical and counter-striking Cannonier, while he probably will rush in trying to get that knockout. I think the best way for Whittaker to win this fight, without a doubt, is just be the better counter puncher and hit him at perfect angles. He just needs to have a perfect game plan and look like the 185-pound champion that we knew and loved when he was fighting Yoel Romero twice and when he was fighting all these guys. I think if he really gets in there and makes it his power punches, his counter punches, we'll see Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya again. Mark.
Yeah, that is what Whittaker usually does. I feel like it's going to be a decision. I don't think either of these guys are going to get knocked out by the other one. Although they both have the power, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Whittaker by decision.
Okay, I like it.
I'm just now sticking this. Like if this is a title eliminator fight, this is a great matchup. I was thinking, man, this would be great to be like a main event on a non-pay-per-view. So it's 5 rounds. I'm thinking, how often is that the thought process? Because if you're thinking it's a title eliminator fight, it's going to be good. Maybe make these guys go 5 rounds. But at the same time, they're like, well, let's put it on a good pay-per-view, so it's another good fight to put a good main event against a good co-main event, and put it on with a good main event. I wonder what kind of thought process goes in there, man, or even if they think about that much.
I mean,
because I like to see these guys go 5 rounds, but at the same time, it makes sense for it to be a co-main event you put on this pay-per-view. It makes sense. So I wonder if they even weigh those options or really even think about it like that very often.
I mean, I would assume that they would think who is 2 of the best power punchers in the sport, who can really go after, this kind of style. And when you make a match like this with 2, I mean, to use a New Zealand, Australian cricket term, when you got 2 bangers like this or 2 bashers like this, it's definitely a matchup that makes sense for a title thing, because both guys, one guy, former middleweight champion of the world, had a great streak, defended the title, like 3 times, 4 times, something like that.
I can't remember.
And then comes out and then loses to arguably, I mean, except outside of Explain Your Titty, you look at a guy like Israel Adesanya, who's top of the game because of the fact that he's one of the best kickboxers in the sport. But Jared Cannonier has the power to just completely destroy your world with a tap of his finger. So this is a bit of a weird one, but it works because both guys, I mean, the stats right there tell a lot, man.
Right, we know it's a good fight, but Ray, none of what you just said answered my question, Ray. You weren't even talking about what I was talking about, Ray. What I was talking about is, how do they decide if this should be something that should go 5 rounds, right? You're talking about a title eliminator fight against 2 guys who are really tough. Why not give them the 2 extra rounds, right? Is it that big of a business deal that they think it's much better for business for them to be on this pay-per-view than them being a 5-round main event, say next week or anytime that there's a non-pay-per-view card?
Well, honestly, if you look at this too, Izzy's been, slapping his yap about going to 205. So they want to at least have one more title fight for him before he goes up to 205. And I think this would be the Cannonier would be a great fight for Izzy. I think he would negate a lot of Izzy's speed with his own speed, which helps. And then
you're not answering what I'm saying.
But here's the 3 rounds.
So why are they going 3 rounds instead of 5 rounds? That's what I'm asking.
They want to get this next fight for Izzy as fast as possible, so they have an opponent for him. That's all it really is.
Yeah, but if they really wanted to do it as a 5-round main event, they could have did it last week. They could do it next week, right? They want to do it the week after. It wouldn't be that big a deal. Wouldn't be much of a difference. So I'm just wondering what kind of thought process goes into to say, you know what, these guys would have a great 5-round fight, but let's have them fight 3 rounds on the pay-per-view instead. That's curious to me, because this is a fight that it would be awesome if it's a 5-round fight. It may not go that long either way, but I think it would be a fantastic main event. Maybe they just want people
to be a great main event on any fight night. I agree.
I mean, I'm assuming that they just think people should pay for this fight, and they don't really care how many rounds they go at it.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I'm assuming, but I don't know. I think that's just kind of a weird thing to think, because business-wise that makes sense. But as far as you want to have the guy who fights for the title to really earn it, and have those 2 guys go 5 rounds will really make them earn it. I mean, it doesn't make them earn it any of the last 3 rounds, but seeing those guys go 5 rounds, and then the winner of that 5-round war gets to fight Izzy, right?
Yeah,
that's interesting. But I think it's pretty much just a business thing, saying, you know what, this is a good fight. Let's make people pay for it.
Yeah, man, it's and the 2 names alone are worth the price, so it's already a good thing, which is nice. So let's Harrison, if you could go to number 3, please, camera angle number 3. Let's discuss something. Tim Danko, are you ready to discuss it? You weren't ready at the top of the show, sir.
Oh, I was ready. I just prefer the weight. I don't know. Let's see how much vodka I drank.
Oh boy, see how much.
None. This is bourbon.
We're talking right now. If you've joined us on our lovely streaming sites, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch is an amazing site. We're happy to be a part of it. Tim is not. He wants to cancel Twitch, but that's just him. Harrison, he has Tourette's as well. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He does what we tell him.
Who cares?
He does what we tell him.
Why are you so mean to him, man? He's doing us a favor.
He's our houseboy, and I can
Why
treat
are you
him
being
how
so
I
mean to
want.
him? No, you can't. He's the most important person here in this podcast, Red.
Is he?
All right. If I had a choice between Harrison and you, I'd pick Harrison right now.
Well, I mean, I would pick Harrison over myself. What do you like? What am I, completely stupid?
But don't give this guy crap. This guy is doing this. I don't know why he's doing this, but it's awesome that he is. I love him for it. Yeah, because he's the man.
He's
so
awesome.
Don't give him crap. He's the man.
And before
Harrison, sorry, Ray's giving you shit.
Before we do that, yeah,
you're
Harrison,
taking time out of your day. I have the kindness of your heart to help us out with this, and he's giving you shit. I apologize, sir.
He's awesome. I know this, but I like to give him shit because he's younger than me as well. So we got to toughen those kids up. Them millennials.
You jealous?
Gen Z's. Always asking for handouts, and Alex Jones is making the frogs gay. Like that.
Harrison, did you find the soundboard for the show bomb sound yet?
No.
Or the Price is Right sounder? Yeah. That one. Yeah, I saw a great meme. This is something like Gen Z to millennials. You suck, millennials. I know. That's pretty much right. That's pretty much how we operate. You guys are terrible. We know we're terrible.
We're terrible, man. We've
been sad for years.
We were on psychotropics. It's just, the normal thing. We've been sad since kindergarten, so we understand. We came out of the womb. I think like millennials, we came out of the womb sad. Like there was definitely a thing that and oh, by the way, sponsor us because we are sad. If you know any sponsors or fighters that you want to have on the show, we do interviews as well. So we'll get off the sad talk and talk about ourselves because we are fun. And then
how we doing? How's the one person paying attention? Harrison. How we doing? How's this episode, man?
Watching. And we have 5 now because we're awesome. Look at this. We have 5 people on the stream. This is more than we had yesterday. So we appreciate you guys.
Comments
showing up.
Send us comments. Tell us what you think about the fights. If you had any questions about anything in the world, send them and we'll answer them.
I'm gonna read a comment that was sent to us by a guy that we know, or I know at least from a long time ago. In the school days, Kevin Masterson, he sent a comment about the fight that we're about to talk about, which is this is his opinion on what's going to happen. If Khabib can score takedowns, he will win by submission. If Gaethje can keep it on the feet, he wins by decision. And this fight is an interesting one. Because you are a fan of Khabib Nurmagomedov. I am not by any stretch of the imagination. I respect him as a fighter, if I can say that. There we are. Justin Gaethje, obviously former PFL or WSO World Series of Fighting champion. And was a savage in that organization. Has had a rocky start in the UFC, kind of like Jan Blachowicz. He had a rocky start coming in when he started, got knocked out his first couple times.
Well, no, second and third time.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
his first fight was Michael Johnson.
Or Michael Johnson. Yeah, he beat Michael.
But those fights were really close. He just kind of fought kind of silly in the third round and got stopped. Because he was fighting silly against the really dangerous guys. Since then, he's fighting smarter. He's been crushing people. Okay, first thing I want to talk about, Ray, is the World Series of Fighting. Because how big, man, The NFL was really on it when they copyrighted the term Super Bowl, right? When they did that, you can't even say the certain term Super Bowl, really. You're not even supposed to in advertising or anything. You have to say like the big game or whatever. You're not even supposed to use it. But the World Series never did that. So there's like World Series of poker, World Series of fighting, right? World Series of, I don't know, bass fishing. I don't know if that's one or not, but I bet it is. But yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, man, you missed the boat, MLB. You should have years and years ago should have copyrighted that term. And you know what? The NFL, so they didn't do it, and they did it. So you can't say Super Bowl of fighting. You can't do it.
No,
you can't say Super Bowl of poker. You can't do it. Smart, NFL. Smart. Did a lot of other shady shit, but that was smart.
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at the USFL. I mean, look what they did to that whole like thing, screwing over their time slots, all that kind of stuff.
That was our president who ruined that league, I think. But that has nothing to do with politics. That's just something he did in his past with the USFL.
Yeah. We are an apolitical show. We do not do politics at all because we are an MMA podcast. Thank you.
Just felt.
Have a good day. Yeah, man. I mean, this whole thing, this Khabib's rise to power in the UFC has just been
awesome.
I mean, if you want to call it that, sure. I look at it as a guy who, being a very skilled MMA fighter, or no, not even MMA fighter, because he doesn't have good hands. It's a great wrestler, one-dimensional, if I can use that term. Definitely one-dimensional, and
he can submit people. He's done that. Like, how do you say he's one-dimensional?
One-dimensional. He uses Greco-Roman wrestling. That's it. Like, that's all he has. He doesn't have a single strike in his arsenal except for throwing those big, hard Russian mitts at people.
Isn't that what we used to love about this sport? A style versus style, Ray?
I mean, yeah, but time comes for evolution, and you got to choose which side you're on of the evolution. Are you going to?
If you're so damn good at one thing that you can smother people, do what he does, and take them to the deepest ocean and suffocate them. You also say that he cuddles people, man. He takes people down, right? And he does some other dudes, but you're kind of forgetting, Ray. You're forgetting, Ray, that he's won his last two fights against very, very tough people.
Yeah,
Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, two of the toughest dudes, right? You'll find anywhere. By submission. He subbed both of them, all right? He's not just laying and praying. He's finishing fights, and he's finished two really fucking tough dudes.
Okay. But
here's
my counterpoint to that, which is
it's going to be wrong, but you can say it.
Which is a jiu-jitsu mindset, unlike a wrestling mindset, which wrestling mindset is very slow, methodical, and let's fucking lay on each other for 15 minutes at a time and really not do anything until the guy's super tired in the third fucking round.
Well, it's also MMA, and he does hit people from that position, man. He fucking mauls people.
Okay, but again,
and then he talks to them, which is hilarious.
and that's one thing I don't like about him. You can't be boring and talk shit. You can.
You can. No, when he was talking shit to Michael Johnson when he was beating him up, he was telling Michael Johnson he needed to quit as he's punching him in the face and telling him that he deserves a championship. You know this. I deserve championship. As he punching him in the face. What don't you love about that? That's fantastic. He's beating a dude's ass and talking shit about it, man. I mean, I love guys who do the opposite, right? The quiet guys who are also the nicest people on earth who can also kick your ass. But both extremes are real fun. And Khabib, yeah, he's like a perfect villain, and I like him for it. However, I should say I'm a fan of his, but the guy he's fighting, I'm a bigger fan of.
Yes, I love Justin Gaethje.
He's one of my favorite fighters on earth, and I'm going to pull for him, and I'd love him to death.
I mean,
Khabib is just a great heel, man. He really is. And you're a wrestling dude. You can't appreciate a good heel.
Yeah, seriously? I hate him. I like cool heels.
You can't appreciate him? Like, dude, I really do like guys who, it doesn't matter how damn good your kickboxing is, this guy is going to fucking smother you. And if you don't like it, get better at takedown defense. That's how the sport works, right? If you're a kickboxer, you want to kickbox somebody, you got to be better at fucking takedown defense. Or the guy who's better at wrestling is going to take you down, take you into the deepest waters, and drown you to death, man. And that's what Khabib does to everybody. And he's finished the last two guys he fought who are super badass fighters who are going to be fighting each other, I think, in January now. That's Poirier McGregor.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited for this fight against Gaethje. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this fight.
I'm so excited for this fight, dude. Like, it's, to me, I'm and what I'm about to, after I just completely dogged Khabib, I'm gonna say some positive things about him. I mean, yeah, his strength, he has great strength holding guys down. He can get that leg vine in there underneath the knees, hold his thighs up against those, or the back, or where the hamstrings against the knees, and to keep guys down, to pummel him. I respect that. It's not a fun position to be in. I've been in it myself a few times, just like being in the gym and everything like that. But like, it's his great takedowns. His takedowns are amazing. What do you get when he answers the question, what do you get when you have a kid wrestle bears all his life? You get Khabib off. Like, it's truth. But to me, like, the one thing I can't, I want Justin to, I don't think Justin has it for this. I really do not think, and this is the first time I've ever said this in my UFC fandom, where I'm defending Khabib Nurmagomedov, or not defending him, but picking him in a fight, because I don't think Justin has a great wrestling pedigree. He's got everything. I just do not think that Justin Gaethje can even be on the same level as Khabib Nurmagomedov on the ground. And once he's done, I hope he finishes him quick. Otherwise, I'm going to be yelling boring the entire time, because it'll just be over and over, laying on his chest, grapevine, doing nothing, and then getting up for a couple things. It's just, I don't want Khabib to win this, but I'm picking Khabib to win this. Hurts me to say.
Well, one of the reasons we only see Khabib's wrestling is because that's all we need to see, right? No one's ever been able to stop it enough to make him do anything else. No one's really put him on his back very often, right? So we don't really know. And the same thing kind of goes for Gaethje, because the big unknown here is Gaethje's defensive wrestling. If you look up what he did at Northern Colorado, he's very good. And I saw some of his videos. He was the defensive first wrestler. So it's there. He's never had to do it in MMA, because he's a very fantastic kickboxer and he knocks people out, and no one's really taken him down before, at least not like that. So, excuse me. So we don't know how good his takedown defense is. We don't have anything to look at other than wrestling, which is, it's different. It was a while ago. It was when he was in college. It's not MMA. So we don't know. We don't know how good his defense is. But what everyone says in his camp is that was the only thing he could do for a while. That was always his best skill. A lot of people say, including his coach, Trevor Whitman, that's still his best skill, his defensive wrestling. So really, if you're going to pick somebody, you kind of got to guess, man. How good do you think it is? Do you think it's good enough to stop Khabib?
No.
I have no idea. I think you don't either. Neither of us have really any reason to say one way or the other, because we don't actually know. The only thing we know is how good Khabib is with his offensive wrestling. And if he did smother him and the whole fight, it wouldn't surprise me too much. However, man, I really like to think I'm also Poirier and McGregor, the last two guys he fought were not good wrestlers. And the last handful of guys he fought weren't really good wrestlers. I think Gaethje's probably going to be the best wrestler he fought. And then you hear stories about how good a wrestler he is from wrestlers that train with him, like Daniel Cormier. And they say he's fantastic, say he's one of the best. So we don't know. We don't know how, but people say that about Gaethje as well. We have no idea. But the thing is, if Gaethje even stops handful of Khabib's takedowns to the point that he makes him stand with him a little bit, Gaethje has a heck of an advantage on the feet, so he has a really good chance to win. And I'm picking my man Gaethje. I'm doing it. He's like a plus 275 underdog. I'm picking him. I want him to win so hard. Man, I'm picking him.
I'm not gonna lie. If Justin Gaethje wins, which again I do not see happening, the thing that really bothers me about Khabib is how good of a wrestler he really is. Like, I wish he wasn't as good as he was in that stupid white hat of his. I hate it. It's so stupid. And there's other things that I won't say in this podcast, but I've said to Tim multiple times. And actually, I think I've done it on this podcast. Right. If you go back and listen to it.
Yeah, probably.
But I respect Khabib Nurmagomedov ever since the Conor McGregor incident, where his team after winning, of all things, tries to jump Conor McGregor, and then obviously goes after Dylan Dennis, which I'm actually going to say, Dylan Dennis, you're a dickhead, so fuck you. And you deserve to have gotten what you have gotten, but Conor getting sucker punched, or trying to be sucker punched by his teammates as well, was just, it's a black eye on the sport, and it will, in front of the biggest crowd at the time that they ever did this. It was one of the biggest pay-per-view crowds ever. I think it was 2.4 million people watched this. And who knows how many other illegal streams of it were watched around the world. I was definitely watching it on an illegal stream.
I know I personally was at a party with about 30 people.
Yeah. I mean, it's the pay-per-view made, and for him to embarrass himself like that. And even his father, God rest his soul. I won't ever say anything ill of the man who bore that abomination onto the world. But
you just called his son an abomination. You see, you would never say something bad about him. You just called his spawn an abomination. That's basically saying something about him.
Not at all.
You're a terrible person.
Good boy. And he winds up, because he was mad at him. Habib's dad was not happy with him after that. I read articles about it.
I wasn't happy about it. However, like, the sportsman in me hated it, but the human being who likes outrageousness and entertainment right there. Anyone who's watched a reality TV show either is just kind of like, what? No, I wish it wouldn't happen, but it did, and it's fine now. No one died. Everything's okay. I hated what Conor
piety
did. Is much worse. Yeah.
What did Conor do?
When he threw the dolly through the bus, and guys couldn't fight because they had glass in their eye.
Let's get into that.
We already did. Haven't we done this before? I think we already did.
Yeah, many times. But this is definitely relevant to this. I mean, we and then we can talk about possibly other people who can fight Habib after he mauls Justin Gaethje.
Well, probably fucking Ferguson.
What?
Probably Ferguson.
Well, I think honestly, I'll give my opinion.
Or the winner of Poirier McGregor, most likely.
Honestly, Tony deserves a title shot, in my opinion.
Ray, now he's coming off a loss, bro. He's got to win a fight first, man.
Yeah, but that was 2 weight cuts. You kind of have to look at it.
That's on him, though. No one made him cut twice.
Well, I think his team could have told him not to do it, but
he does what he wants. If you ever hear any stories about Tony Ferguson, they always say Tony Ferguson does whatever Tony Ferguson wants. Yeah, you can't tell him what to do. So it was on Tony and no one else. Really? You're going to blame that on somebody? They fucking forced him to do a weight cut? Come on, Ray. Are you serious? It's America. You don't fucking force some dude to fucking cut weight. You put a gun to his head? What the hell are you thinking, man? That was on Tony and nobody else. What do you think?
He might have some debts that need to be paid. You never know. You don't know.
Okay. All right. So okay. You went straight to owing mob money. So you obviously know that what you said is ridiculous. Okay, good. Moving on.
I love you.
Fucking guy. This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
Oh man, no, I look at the Dolly incident as Habib's fault. 100%.
Again, did he have a fucking gun to Conor's head and say, throw a dolly through a window and get glass in Michael Chiesa's fucking eye? So, dude, I don't care what the fuck he does. You don't fucking throw a dolly through a bus window and there's other fighters on there and make them not fight, right? Nothing you can possibly fucking say.
Bad thing. Calm your tits.
No, nothing you can fucking say can justify that or say it's not Conor McGregor's fault throwing a fucking dolly through a bus window. You are a fucking asshole for even suggesting that, Ray. What the hell, man?
Jesus. Oh, he's gone. He left. Oh no. We have lost Tim Danko. We have the pinwheel of death, Harrison. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let me finish my point now that I actually can do that. The way I can't.
I'm back. I didn't mean to actually go away. I didn't know that it was gonna do that when I did. I thought I was just gonna fake it and.
God damn it!
Is my video back yet?
Not yet. Turn your camera on, possibly. Tim Danko, you always got to be unprofessional. Just got to be unprofessional.
Okay. Off and on again.
And then sort of, no, you're still black. We had
all right, buddy.
And you blew it. Blew it!
Well, it was this is your fault now. For you saying ridiculous, stupid shit and making me pissed off. Okay. I'm gonna X out of this and then sign back in.
Okay, and then I will explain why, and we'll talk about it that way. Jesus, Harrison, look what I have to put up with on a regular basis, dude. Like, look at what I have to put up with and make this. I have to wait for him to make a point? What the fuck, man? All right, he's back. Join the stream, you tool. I love you. So let's explain. Let's go back in the Dolly incident.
No, I'm done with it now.
No, the people that
just piss me off.
Conor McGregor threw a dolly through the window of a bus, injuring some people, kind of messing with Rose Namajunas' head, which again, not a good thing. But here's
Michael Chiesa got glass in his eye and couldn't fight.
And his mom hugged him. I understand. Whatever. It's at this point. But Khabib had let Conor's shit talking get to him on a level where he had to talk to Artem Lobov at a weigh-in or whatever it was. And my point to this is, we all know how legitimately crazy Conor McGregor is. Yes, we understand pre-Dolly how crazy he really is. Who's his best friend in the world? Artem Lobov. You don't fuck with a crazy man's best friend. That's all I gotta say. If he would have not slapped him in the back of the head or gone, the other boy talking shit about me, none of this would have happened. We possibly would have had a better fight. When the MSG card would have been on, it would have been all good, sir. So again, I say that he has culpability in this, and it's something that he just doesn't acknowledge. He thinks that what he was doing was in the right, and yet he didn't realize Conor McGregor is one of the craziest sons of bitches on the planet. So again, it's Khabib's fault, pure and simple. Khabib chose wrong and completely fucked up a card, and nobody talks about it. Absolutely no one talks about it, and it makes me mad.
Sounds like you're victim blaming mood. This is like blaming the girl for her boyfriend being a crap out of her. That's exactly what you're saying. Like it was her fault for being a bitch. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. It's exactly what you're saying.
No, it's about self-awareness, which Khabib definitely does not have. There's many things in this life, sir, that I am lacking. Self-awareness is not one of them. I'm able to understand psychopaths, and Conor McGregor had that shine in his eye of a psychopath, that little gleam where you knew violence could happen and he could go out off the rails, and nobody saw that but me. When I watched that slap years ago, literally my first thought was, oh, Conor's going to be pissed, and nobody else thought it. Nobody else was like, oh, and then the next day, what happens? Conor gets led in by the MacLife guys and throws a dolly through. I feel vindicated for that shit because I was correct. I was correct that was going to cause a problem. It's because you have to think about that shit, man. Like it's Khabib doesn't do that because he's been in Dagestan or Guzikistan or wherever the fuck he's from, and then he's isolated from real psycho.
What you're saying? When your husband is a hothead, don't burn dinner. That's what you're saying. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. See, that's what you're saying, dude. That's exactly what you're saying.
The roast should never be cold, ever. You have to think about that.
It's not that difficult, is it? No, if I can cook a roast, man, actually I can't, man. I probably fuck it up too. So yeah. According to Reg, that's the headline of the show. That if your husband's a hothead, don't burn the roast.
Yeah,
it's basically what he's saying.
There are psychics out there. Yeah. They're not all.
If he murders you, it's your fault for burning the roast. Okay, I get it. I get it.
I mean, you got pregnant and he gave you a whoopsie-daisy down the stairs. It happens. It happens.
Did you see that documentary on Netflix about that monster Chris Watts?
Dude from Colorado.
You'll watch that and be like, well, it's her fault. I guarantee you victim blame. You victim blame that poor lady and her children for getting slaughtered by that monster. I guarantee it.
Deserves to burn. I watched that documentary.
Monster.
And we'll end on this. I mean, because we've had a very good heated discussion today. I think this has actually been one of our best shows. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what the best part is? Like, I was legitimately upset. I'm not making this up. The thing you said, I thought the things that you said just sounds so outrageous to me that I had to go off the way I did because it just sounds like ridiculous. Like, I love you to death, but I think you're just so dead wrong that I got that passionate about it.
I mean, I've been around crazy people most of my life, and pretty violent people most of my life. So you get those nice violent people. Those are the people you like to hang around with. The people like Conor, you want to at least see them once a month or maybe at family reunions. Like, that's all. Like, Conor McGregor is not a guy you want to hang out with constantly. You just always are going, oh, fuck, I got to grab him. Great. Like, he's on Red Bull and vodka trying to fight the bouncer. Like,
right. He's the guy that I would go to the bar with him, but I'm driving separately.
Yeah, exactly.
When it starts to get weird, I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of guy. And for people not to realize that he was that guy and then be shocked that he was that person, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to think that he was not capable of doing that. And it's just, to me,
honestly, it's not something I thought anyone would do, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't think anyone was gonna do that. Like, did you guess, oh, he's gonna throw a dolly through a bus now and fucking bunch of fighters fights up?
He was gonna try and get on the bus or something like that and try and like bust the doors open and get on the bus that way. I didn't think he was gonna throw something, but when I saw it, it made total sense. Like,
again, he's the one at fault for that, but I don't understand how that even happened. How did he get fucking past everybody?
The Mac Life guys, the guys that do his like Instagram,
okay,
they and like a bunch of other stuff. They like follow Conor McGregor and do all this kind of stuff.
Okay,
they let him in.
How'd they get in? Oh, they probably got press passes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so their press passes.
Dude, can we start getting press passes?
Once fights start going on in arenas, I actually want to try and get press passes for this. We need a website first to make sure we seem legitimate, you know. But I would love to get press passes and do interviews for the podcast, and get in deep with the UFC and get UFC embedded. No pun intended.
This fucking
guy. Oh my God, man. Again, you have to just common sense is common as people think. And that's where like you have to use common sense. And Khabib did not. He acted like he was disrespected instead of going out and doing what he's been doing. And I'm not saying that he hasn't been going out and doing what he's been doing, which is winning, but you should never care what somebody says about you in a fight context. Like, it's not about respect. And when you're in the fight game, it's business. And apparently,
I agree with that. I agree with that. It's just like saying that is Khabib's fault that Conor threw a dolly through a thing.
He slapped
That's
Artem.
silly.
He slapped Artem, his best friend. He slapped his best friend. Like, would you beat someone's ass if their best friend got fucking like slapped by somebody?
My friends can handle themselves, but if need, but if need be, it may be a little different. I don't know. But throw a dolly through a bus with strangers, people who were not involved in the conflict are going to be punished for this and hurt because of this. And that's
I mean, it's what happened.
I will say that no, Khabib can't take fucking insult, and it's kind of funny. But yeah,
hilarious.
But you are right about that. But dude, Conor's the one that threw fucking dolly through a window, man. No one else.
I'm not saying Conor was right for throwing the dolly. I'm really not. I'm not saying he was right for doing it. I didn't expect him to do it. Like, I expected him to try and like bust the door of the bus, and then he was going to get arrested that way for property damage. I didn't think, but when I saw it, it was sort of like the old Chris Rock bit. I understand. Like, I get it. I like the dude's crazy. He's gonna fuck shit up at a moment's notice. You have to think about that kind of shit. But it's just what it is, man. Like, it happened. But like, nobody ever blames Khabib. They always like go straight to the defense of Khabib, which they should never do. because he had a hand in this.
Conor McGregor is like he's a human being that should be able to have reason and logic. He's not a bear, right? People say don't poke the bear, but a person isn't a bear. Okay,
well,
if you poke a bear and get attacked, that's one thing, right? But it's the person with reason and logic, no matter how crazy the dude is. He still has reason and logic, and you. It's not gonna be his fault.
Connor is a street kid from Ireland.
I don't.
Those fucking people throw like bricks at each other.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm aware, but I do because I think that's definitely a point that should be made in this whole thing.
He did it. No one else did it.
I'm aware, but again,
I'm closing this laptop.
Oh God. Harrison's like, no, not again. Not again. Oh, that's funny, man. But who do you think? Do you think it'll be Tony Ferguson to take the winner of this? Do you, or do you think it'll be Poirier versus Conor that gets that? You think that's going to be?
Well, definitely Conor if he wins.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think Tony has to fight somebody first because he just lost. You know, he could beat
Agreed.
somebody first. I don't care who it is, somebody. If he beats somebody, then yeah, I think it'll be Tony, unless Conor wins. So, okay, Conor wins, Conor Conor loses, Tony beats anyone, Tony.
I agree.
Poirier wins, Tony loses to someone, maybe Poirier, but that just happened. I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you could also throw in. Oh no, I can't even bring up the entire 155 roster. But there's so many savages at 155 that it's kind of nice to, at least see that there's options at 155. So that's always a fun time. Harrison, can you bring up the upcoming events page that's on just press back on your share screen real quick for me? So I want to go to the Anderson Silva fight and just kind of like talk about his career real quick as well.
A fight that was scheduled, I don't know if it's coming up, would be a number 6 guy in the lightweight division right now, Charles Oliveira against the number 11, Benel Dariush.
That'll be a good fight.
That's pretty big. That'd make those guys go up there pretty high. Other than the guys we talked about, the next guy on that list is Hooker, but he's coming off a loss as well. So we're going to see who maybe Hooker is going to fight next. Diego Ferreira. He's fighting Drew Dober. That should be good. Diego Ferreira and Drew Dober. That's coming up. That should be fun. But Oliveira, Darnoush, whoever wins that fight is going to jump probably into that top 5. Okay. So what we got? Okay, then we have the.
Since it's Anderson, so we're bringing this up just because it's a legend, and we'll end on this part. We'll end on this talking about Anderson Silva. His last fight is coming up next week, Halloween night, actually, which is kind of a cool little send off, really. Just for the day. What are some of your favorite moments from Anderson Silva's career, Tim Danko?
Oh, there's so many, right? I talked yesterday about when he knocked out Belfort with that front kick. Yeah. Dude, his first fight against Lieben at the with the Palms, right? When people realized how damn good this guy was. That's one, man. His fights against Chael Sonnen were great, especially that second one where he just beat the dude up. It wasn't his most exciting fight. It was probably his least exciting fight. But when he just played with Damian Maia because he could.
In Abu Dhabi fight, or is that
I don't know if that was Abu Dhabi.
Love you too, Jonathan, for sharing that. I appreciate it, buddy. Good to see you. I'll see you Saturday, hopefully. If you're watching this, we appreciate anybody that had watched this stream all day, or that we've been doing this show for the last hour and a half. We appreciate it. Yeah, man. His Anderson Silva,
even his losses were weird, man. Those two Weidman fights are so weird. Oh, Weidman fights, excuse me, Weidman.
Yeah, man. The Weidman fights, I remember I missed the first one and then rewatched it. But a guy I went to school with had called me and talked about how bullshit the finish was and how lucky Chris Weidman was because he was a huge Anderson Silva fan. And It was hilarious just to hear him go, "That's bullshit. He fucking got lucky, fucker." And it was
Silva's fault, man.
well, but that's what I'm saying. When I love fans, because like a lot of Anderson Silva fans were so hardcore back in the day. Like you were either Anderson Silva fan or you were a piece of shit when he was at his 185 glory. And I mean, the second one is always going to be that one that goes down in history as one of the nastiest stoppage. It goes up there with like Tim Sylvia versus Frank Mir. Speaking of, we talked about his daughter in the first part of the episode, making her pro debut, but like that bone break. What do you remember about that bone break?
That was so weird, man. That was crazy. I just remember. I don't remember in real. I remember I watched it live, and I don't remember in real time if I really saw his leg break. But then they saw the replay, and you just see that leg when he checked that kick, turning the rubber.
Yeah,
I thought he was done for sure. I mean, the fact he had so many, he came back and had so many fights since then. It's kind of a miracle because I really thought he was done. I mean, you're talking about a dude who just snapped his shin. That is an insane injury. I can't believe he even came back from that at all.
Of all things, like it was just you can't write that kind of shit unless it's like pre-broke at that point. Like to me, that was one of the best ones. It was also kind of like an interesting fight to see him at 195 against DC at UFC 200, stepping up as like a last minute thing. I think it was like 3 days notice because John Jones had tested positive for the first time. I think that was the first time he ever tested positive. There's been so many times.
It's been a handful, yeah.
But yeah, man, I think honestly, Anderson, and we'll talk more about it as the fights come up, as fight day comes up for that fight. But man, you have to put him at least in the gold statue category of like the man deserves a bronze statue somewhere in Brazil for like the amount of things he like MMA wise and being a humble guy, sort of. I mean, he's shit talked in the past. He didn't shit talk when he was first thing, and then Chael kind of brought that out of him a little bit. And it's interesting to have seen his evolution from a guy, fighting in Brazil, then going to Pride for a hot second, and then Pride getting bought up and him coming in to be one of the most dominant 185ers to ever walk into the octagon, bro. Like that.
Well, he was the most dominant when he was doing it. Yeah, he was a monster. He was fantastic. You know what? He's 45 now, and you see how much respect that the UFC has for him. And this is his last fight, his retirement fight. They could have given him anybody. They could have given him somebody he could beat easy. Yeah. And have him ride into the sunset. They gave him Uriah Hall, man. He was a monster, dude. They give him a tough fucking fight, man. Which I don't think he wouldn't want a pud fight. He wouldn't want a tomato can. He'd want a real fight, and he's getting a real fight, man. So that should be fun, man. Win or lose, man. Hats off to that guy. He was I've watched that guy fight a billion times, and for a long time, man, he was untouchable.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the end of an era, bro. Like this is definitely. As we're getting this is sort of like the beginning of the rules era in mixed martial arts. The NHB started to slowly drift away into the annals of history. And so now you get a guy from basically when the unified rules first started coming in. I mean, he's in the same boat as like a Pat Miletich, a Mark Coleman, Chuck Liddell. Like those guys who were the godfather or the grandfathers of the sport. Anderson Silva, you can consider him at least an uncle. I mean, in the sport, when it comes to being like, he's not a direct descendant, but he's definitely there. I mean, you can't go without.
No, not only that, but he's also one of those guys you actually just call not just a pioneer, but he's also a straight up legend.
Yeah,
legend, unstoppable legend, man. Even Liddell has some losses, but okay. I mean, he had his reign in his prime, but he didn't have the reign that Anderson Silva had, right? So no, the dude's an absolute legend, and
hell yeah, man. And we'll talk about that more next week when we're gonna break that down or preview it as well as break it down the following Monday. We will be doing a live stream. Harrison, if you could come on screen, buddy. It's time to talk to you and your sexy person. Let me switch it up here to where we are. There we go. Harrison, can you do next Monday?
I don't know. I'll have to check. Sorry, I'm on a film shoot.
Oh no, you're fine. You're good, brother. And but we will be doing a breakdown of this card, the Khabib Nurmagomedov or UFC 254, live on pay-per-view from the Flex Forum at 2 p.m. 2 fucking p.m. What the hell? I don't want to day drink while watching fights. I feel dirty. That's a dirty time for somebody to really. Ugh.
You know why you say that? Because you're not a college football fan, man. Dude, I get drunk at noon on Saturdays, usually this time of year. The Ohio State University Buckeyes are finally playing. They're playing Saturday at noon. Man, that game, I mean, if it's not close, I'll probably switch over to the fights. I'll be going a little back and forth for a minute there, probably.
I got OSU knocking off Nebraska hard.
Well, so do I, man. But the thing is, we don't know, man. You know, when it's played, you know, it's going to be a weird season. But we're getting games in, which is good. So I'm excited to finally see the Buckeye. I don't even know what's going on in college football. I haven't been paying attention. I don't even know who's in the top five. I haven't been paying attention because Ohio State's not playing. I'm just bummed out.
Yeah, they're going to try and fit a 9-week schedule is what I heard on 92.3 this morning.
Yeah, I think it's 8 games or something like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting way to see this. And even like, what was the player protocol is like if a player tests positive, they're out for 21 days or something like that.
Ooh. Well, I mean, we have to take stuff seriously again, man. I mean, a lot of the state of Ohio's in the red. I'm going to a large gathering later. I'm going to a high school football game, which may not be the smartest thing on earth, but I'll have my mask on, you know, and they do have bleachers taped off, right? So you try to stay sitting where, you know, a decent distance from some people. So.
Yeah, and that's something I think we should thing. If you're going to a watch party at your friends, make sure it's a small gathering as well for the pay-per-view on tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Do whatever you want. This is America. Do whatever you want. Freedom.
I'm talking about
right?
freedom.
Harrison gets it. I'm going to a big Halloween party next weekend. I'm thinking about maybe it's not a great idea, but you know what, man? There's going to be I think they're roasting a pig. So I'm going. My Halloween costume's super easy. I'm Mick Foley. All right, I already have the T-shirt and the flannel. Boom, done. I'm Mick Foley, right? Cactus Jack, the blood and black flannel. Boom, Mick Foley, done. Did it last year, doing it again this year. Very easy, done.
Will you be jumping off of anything onto anything burning? If
I get some good drugs in me, probably.
Yay! Take video.
Nice.
If somebody has some cocaine, maybe. Although, I'm pretty sure it would stop my heart at this point, so maybe I won't do it.
I've never done cocaine, so I can't. I just because I know I always have told people if I start doing cocaine, that's my cry for help. Like, just get me to rehab immediately. I've fallen. We're done.
Don't do it, Ray. Because you'll like it, so don't do it.
Yeah, that's why I won't do it. Like, I tried DMT and I love it, but at the same time,
that's different. That I would like to do.
DMT's fun. It can be a fun thing.
So what kind of drugs you want to do?
You ever seen a grown man naked? You ever been in a Turkish bath?
No.
Okay. Good.
No, I'm very new to drugs, so
do you smoke weed at all?
Well, you know what?
I have. It's not my thing, but I have.
Yeah, I don't like to function on it. I like to stay home when I do that, when I partake in the marijuana. You know what, man? Geez, Ray, you need to come on down. We need to watch this new Borat movie together because I used to be high when I watched that thing. I haven't watched it yet, but I feel like I'm just going to wait on it until I get some stuff because I feel like it'd be much better that way.
For the people who watch this, and also again for the people that hopped in and out on this stream,
don't call the cops. All right.
Yeah, fuck them. If they call the cops, we'll always deny. It's a podcast. It's entertainment.
Yeah. What Fox News does. Deny.
Yes, disavow all of that, and that's how we make it go away. I disavow you. I disavow. Hope you get cancer. I hope you get cancer. But it's one of we're going to be doing for people that watch this down the line, and also for the people that watch this today, because I saw the numbers kind of jumping up and down. We appreciate you guys doing that. We're actually thinking about doing movie watch-alongs, and I think that would be a fun one to do. Is watch Borat and watch it all together and kind of see how fucked up that movie is because of the Rudy Giuliani thing that's been going on with it.
I really think like classic Disney movies, man. Let's watch Bambi.
Yes. You should do mushrooms and watch Bambi.
Okay.
I like that idea.
That's not good, man, because I'm pretty sure the whole stream would just be me like freaking out.
That movie, I've watched that movie so many times, and like it doesn't make me sad. I don't know if I'm like a psychopath or
yes.
Just yes. It does happen from time to time, but no, yeah. We found out that Disney, the group watch thing, we're going to be watching Disney movies. We're going to try and do that at least once a month, and make that a show that we live stream as well. Because all we have to do is just click it and it starts at the same time, which makes it super easy. Instead of doing a countdown for us, we can just press it and go. We give them a countdown. And we're gonna do some fun facts too, because who doesn't love fun facts, guys? Oh my god, just saying, it's fun fact day. Yay.
I don't condone that.
We appreciate you guys.
Whatever he's doing, don't do it.
That's we're actually gonna cut this off. It's been a wonderful show.
You know what's funny? At one point, I thought this show was going to go short. I think once we got to like the co-main event, I thought it was going to go short. And since then, it's been like an hour. So
yeah, we made it 2 hours. That's almost 2 hours at least, talking about Habib, the fight card coming up from the Flex Forum in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
Bye, everybody.
Where you will see Habib. You will see Habib Nurmagomedov. What a sexy stomach that is. By go. You can always catch us. Make sure you guys watch the fight coming up on ESPN Plus. Habib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaethje should be an interesting card to watch. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about the fights. And
Ray's been signing off for 27 minutes now.
Yeah.
I'm just figuring out when to end the broadcast.
Yeah. At this point, you're fine. Just cut it off. We're done. We're done. Okay. We've been done for a while.
See you at the Kumite.
That's dumb. Don't say that.